Hello. We are from Breakout Group D. Our challenge was how can high schools introduce news literacy programs into the current curriculums. The three recommendations that we came up with is, first and foremost, we wanted to create an action group that would advocate to the state education departments the need to integrate news literacy into the state standards not only of social studies, but English language arts and any other curriculums that might benefit from it. But not only to advocate that we need news literacy in the standards, but to also be part of the curriculum and standard revision process. That way we can take an active role in establishing what we'd like to see. In order to really give strength to that action group, we said that we also need data collection and research to prove the effectiveness of news literacy. We already had a volunteer, Frank Baker, volunteered rather, to create a website that would not only post the results of our studies, but also to set standards across the nation of where we should be. And thirdly, to integrate into existing K through 12 courses news literacy skills in an effort to promote critical thinking and dialogue and discussion, and as teachers who have taken part in this, to go back to our departments and in professional development time or in faculty or department meetings to share with our colleagues what we learned here today in the interim. That way we could start to see more of this within our school and just have more of a collegial development process. As far as what we would do with the $1 million grant, we essentially decided that the $1 million could go very, very quickly. So our idea was that we would constantly be forward looking to new grant projects and that we would incorporate into the $1 million grant a grant writing component for future use to see and to assess what teachers will need, what school districts will need. We felt that the first step would be teacher training programs, teaching teachers how to think critically about the news, how to question the news neighborhoods, to analyze the news themselves, and also how to use the existing technology that they have in their high schools in order to incorporate news literacy. We've realized that we're not all at the same page technologically. So again, how we can make this work with what we have. Also, we would like to create a website that not only has a set of standards where we should be at with news literacy, but also to demonstrate model lessons and suggestions for how we can incorporate news literacy, critical thinking skills, and dialogue and discussion into existing programs that we have. And we felt that it was very important that we start with that meaningful dialogue, that meaningful discussion about the benefit of news and discussing where it comes from, what the sources are, and what's missing. Also, we wanted with the grant money to train both teachers how to use news literacy, and then if we were going to invite journalists into the classroom, train journalists how to teach students so that they can communicate their ideas and their work experience into their classrooms. And to create perhaps an elective course. Usually with school budgets, elective courses are the first to go, but perhaps if we could have maybe a pilot school here or there that had an elective course, we could use that to collect data and information to prove the effectiveness. And again, to work towards unblocking filters that we have in existing schools. Many students aren't able to use Google image searches or to actually access the information that we have because schools will censor what they're able to access. Even teachers are often censored. We felt that we should be working towards creating a goal of where schools need to be technologically so that we could see forward into the future and perhaps target those schools in the need of most technological development. Some schools have the technology, they're not trained how to utilize it, or some schools don't have what we might consider to be the bare minimum. And as I said earlier, incorporated into the $1 million grant would be a grant writing component so that we could move forward to incorporate technology and news literacy so that we can continue to evolve to meet the needs of our new citizenry and media literacy and improve how journalists view the news and how we can teach students how to evaluate it. We felt that this was an ongoing process and the first step was training teachers and the professionals who will be in the schools.